Hey, have you ever really stopped to think about what you're paying for when you buy a new phone or a laptop? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this hidden economic map that shows where the real value is made. It's called the smile curve, and trust me, it's going to completely change how you look at pretty much everything you buy. Seriously, just look at your phone for a second. Why does it cost what it does? You might think, oh, it's the screen, the chip, all the parts inside, right? Or maybe it's the labor, the people who actually put it together. Well, the actual answer is probably not what you're thinking. And once you see it, you'll understand this fundamental secret about how our whole global economy really works.
So, to get to that answer, we've got to follow a product's entire journey, from start to finish, and uncover where that value is hiding.
You know, we usually think a product's value comes from the factory, from the physical act of making it. But that's just one chapter in a much, much longer story. The value starts getting baked in way before a single screw is turned, and it keeps getting added long after the product has been shipped out. And this whole journey has a name: the global value chain. The best way to think about it is like a giant worldwide relay race. It starts with the spark of an idea, gets passed to the designers, then to the manufacturers, then to the marketers, and all the way to the customer support team you might call years later. Every single one of those handoffs adds a little bit more value to the final product. Okay, so if value gets added at every step, where does the most value get added? And that question right there brings us to the main event, the global smile curve. So the value chain is basically broken into three big stages. At the very beginning, you've got pre-production. This is all the brainy, creative stuff, the research and development, the concept design. This is where a ton of value gets created. Then, way at the other end, you have post-production. Think marketing, branding, the whole customer experience. Again, a massive amount of value is captured right here. So what's left in the middle? Just the physical part, manufacturing and assembly. And that's where the value is lowest. You see the shape? It's high, then low, then high again.
And if you were to actually plot that on a graph, you'd get this perfect U shape. And that's it. That's the smile curve. The value is way up high at the two ends, the idea part and the customer part. And it dips way, way down in the middle where the thing is actually being built. All right, to really see how this works in the real world, let's trace the journey of one of the most famous products on the planet, the iPhone. Just think about it for a sec. The super high-value pre-production, all that brilliant R&D and iconic design work, that happens in places like California. Then, the low-value production stage, the actual assembly, is concentrated in factories in Asia. But then, boom, the value shoots right back up for the high-value post-production. That's the slick marketing, the Apple stores, the whole app ecosystem. That's global. It's a perfect smile right there in one product. So here's the real kicker. The actual cost to manufacture and assemble your phone is a tiny, tiny slice of the total price, a shockingly small piece of the pie. The vast majority of the money you pay is for the intangible stuff at the ends of that curve: the design, the brand, the software, the experience of buying it. You're not just buying a physical object, you're paying for the two high points of the smile. Okay, so it's a neat little graph, right? But so what? Why does any of this actually matter? Well, because when you understand this curve, you start to see some fundamental truths about how our modern world really runs. This simple U shape explains so much. First off, it shows us where the real money is made today. It's in the ideas and the brand, not just in building things. That dictates the entire strategy for the world's most successful companies. Think Apple, think Nike. They focus on owning the intellectual property and the relationship with you, the customer. And that brings up a huge challenge for developing economies. They can easily get stuck in that low-value middle, doing all the hard work of assembly, but capturing almost none of the profit. It's a low-value trap. So this all brings us to one last really crucial question. Where is the smile curve headed next? If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that the most valuable real estate in today's economy isn't the factory floor anymore. It's the human mind, where the ideas are born, and the marketplace, where brands build that connection with all of us. And that leaves us with a huge question to chew on. As things like AI and automation make manufacturing, that middle part of the curve, even cheaper, even more efficient, what happens to the smile? Does it just get deeper and wider? And more importantly, where will the next fortunes be made? What will the new high-value jobs and industries look like? That right there is something to really think about.